Hey guys, how's it going? Captain Foley here. We are just gonna do a live hangout, sit down, chat, whatever you want to call it. Um, Cause yeah, I miss you guys or something like that. Let's see here. Hit that like button, guys, if you're just joining. And I'm just starting, so you haven't missed anything. Not that there's really anything to miss, but yeah, it's just me after all. Hey Steven, hey Joseph. Here, let me that should make things better. Signal wise. So there we go. There we go. All right. So good to see you guys. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully we have a nice little friendly hangout and discussion right now. Um, really looking forward to just chilling out with you guys. But yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I will have a drink. Again, this is one of those, I'll have a drink for every super chat I get. And I'll also, for $20 super chat, I will have a shot of Fireball whiskey. So bear that in mind, guys. So there. So what do you guys want to talk about? I'm here to chat about anything you guys want to talk about. Ask me anything. You know the routine. But yeah, cheers. Ever tried bourbon, not whiskey, and ginger ale? Yes, I have. Matt Boardman, hang out. Yes, Matt, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Shouldn't you be busy working on things? I don't know. Do you have? It's fine either way. But yeah, thanks for joining. He's live. Dun dun dun. The word's gone out. Although I do feel like I need to do something real quick. Just realized how fucking dusty this shelf is. Yeah, that's rough. Hey Shevin, I haven't actually dusted this room in quite a while, so I apologize for that. That's embarrassing. Shit, should have done this first. Damn it. But it's fine, it's fine. My OCD's like, now that you've started, you can't stop. I must dust the whole room. And hashtag not wrong, but hashtag can't do that right now. Fireball with ginger ale is good too. Yeah, I actually have some ginger ale downstairs too, so just realizing there's more and more shelves that I'm seeing. I mean, they all have to be dusted, but I didn't think they would all be on camera, so it didn't really matter to me, but now suddenly it matters to me. Anyway, here we are. Laughable Larry throws in $5. Don't have a whole lot of funds to spend, but I hope this helps out. Wanted to support you. Thank you, Laughable Larry. Very much does so. Thank you so much. Mark Lawrence, $5. Hi, Cap. Just checking in to say hi. About to go to a friend's memorial service. Got my bow tie on since he never wore regular ties. Sorry to hear that, Mark. But thank you so much for tuning in and for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Really sorry to hear that. So that's better, I'm sure. How many Star Trek figurines do you have? Define. Okay, hold on, let me change that. Define figurines. You mean action figures, or do you mean like literally figurines that aren't really like toys per se, but more like, like busts and things like that? Define that for me, because I'm not sure what you mean specifically. I do have a lot of different stuff, but Star Trek wise, there's a lot. So, a lot of both actually. Well, shouldn't say that actually. Don't have many that aren't action figure. Maybe half a dozen that aren't action figure, but the rest are just action figures essentially. The old Playmates and some Diamond Select ones and things like that. So hard to say actually. Good afternoon, Captain Casey Stewart. Matt Boardman says, okay, so here's my question for you. Is there a book series, Trek or non-Trek, that you've read that you would really like to see made into a film series? Yeah, I think we talked about this in the last live. I don't know if you were here, Matt, but the Dragon Riders of Pern series by Anne McCaffrey, 1000% needs to be. Originally, I thought movie when I was younger, but no. Now with the Netflix shows and shows like The Expanse, just those kind of shows, I think the Dragon Riders of Pern series would make an amazing fucking show. We have the technology now, we can do it. Anne McCaffrey's original Dragon Riders of Pern books were awesome, and then she's got a whole collection of books after that really add to the lore. Her son even did some after she passed away, but those ones aren't as good. But yeah, the Dragon Riders of Pern needs to be made, as long as they do it good. I mean, that's the only caveat I have to that. I say that every time though, like, if you can do something well, then do it. If you're gonna fuck it up, don't touch it. So I'm almost probably happy. Just realized we got a burnt out light bulb. Shit. I'm almost happy that they haven't done it, because it would be, it could be a problem if they do it wrong. So I actually got the Atlas of Pern, People of Pern, and the Dragon Riders of Pern companion books here. Big fan of the Pern series. So, also Star Trek Vanguard would be awesome to see as well. So there you go. There's a Star Trek one and a non-Star Trek one. Stephen Heckett, my summer drink is ouzo and lemonade over crushed ice. Winter drink is bourbon and ginger ale. Nice. Don't know what ouzo is. I've heard of it, but anything over lemonade would be good, I think. I love lemonade. And bourbon and ginger ale, yeah, I get behind that. Laughable Larry says, ever thought about getting your own 3D printer to make your own models? Are you Alexa? Have you been tapping in on our conversations today? Oh, because literally 20 minutes ago I was talking to Sylvia about getting a 3D printer. Just because today I picked up the Dinky Enterprise. It's a metal enterprise from the 70s, I believe, that has it shot discs out the front. It had a little removable shuttle that went into the bottom of it. I thought the one I was getting today had a box with it, which is cool. So I already had one from years ago that I bought at a model train show. It's the only thing I bought at the model train show was a metal enterprise, go figure. But this one didn't have the shuttle or the discs with it, which is fine. Just having the box and two of the enterprises is great. A friend of mine, Paul, who's also one of the moderators here, he actually has a 3D printer. So I asked him if he'd be able to print that for me, and he will. So that's cool. But other than that, I mean, I would love to be able to print small little things like that on a 3D printer, just kind of when the need arises. So yeah, we're just talking about that. I would love to get a 3D printer. I would love to print some things, even just model parts for bashing and stuff. I would need to learn how to use the software to make the part though. I know a lot of things like shapeways and stuff, you can download the 3D files and print stuff yourself, and I would absolutely do that with a bunch of ships. But yeah, I would absolutely consider getting a 3D printer. Hey Dan, Brian says toys. Oh, I got lots of action figure toys, Star Trek. I'll have to go through them at some point. I'm just getting at that point downstairs where I'm going to start setting that stuff up. Maybe I'll do a live during that so you can see the ones that I have that I put up. But I got a little box full of Playmates stuff, and like I said, a bunch of the Diamond Selects figures, which are really great. So I do have a lot of them, but you can always have more, right? So fucking light bulb is bothering me. Damn it. Pug hair all over my shirt, just realizing. Captain, after the first photon hit the D in generation, should they rotate the shield frequency and been all right? They should have, yes, rotated the shield frequency for sure. But one hair I was trying to get off of didn't get removed. Or maybe that did it. But I think at that point the damage was done. I know they got one or two more hits in, but yeah. Yeah, that would have been one of the first orders, is just start rotating shield frequencies. Hey Kate, how's it going? Dan says light bulb. Yes, don't keep reminding me. It's driving me nuts. I wish Sylvia would have told me it was burnt out. Maybe she didn't know, but it's the one that faces that way too, so it'd be bounced light off that wall. Oh well. Imagine how big a Kelvin Timeline Enterprise J would be. I know, right? Casual Checker throws in $5. Will you get the audio adventure of Seven and Raffi voiced by the actual actresses? I saw they were doing that on Facebook today. I wouldn't, no, I'm not going to spend money on that. I wouldn't mind listening to it, but Dan says, have you ever been scared by something in a Star Trek video game? Scarred or scared? No, I don't think so. To either one. I don't know what you mean specifically, so I'm going to have to say no on that one. Matt Boardman, my just activated when you said that. I'm sorry. Alexa, play Despacito. Here's Despacito by Daddy Yankee and Luis Fonsi on Amazon Music. I wanted to say it softly enough that this one wouldn't play it, but Alexa, stop. Dan Ben, do you like models of ships from cartoons to have the cartoon appearance or look normal? Both. I really like that Ecomoss is doing the Lower Decks Titan with kind of that animated feel to it. I think that's great. Let me just crank the brightness up on that. I think that's actually great that they're doing that, but I prefer both. I wouldn't mind seeing a animated series Enterprise from Eaglemoss, actually. That'd be kind of neat, from the old animated show. But who knows? But yeah, both is acceptable. Yeah, I saw an image 2 days ago of the new Star Trek Picard full cast audio with 709 and Raffi. Cool. Happy New Year, Captain Foley. Sorry I haven't sent you a jib jab in 15 days. No problem, T-Berg. Matt Boardman. That's just evil. Evening, Captain. I love it. Parker Klein. So good evening. Sorry, evening view from Lookout. Parker Klein, what is your favorite alien ship in Star Trek? Mine is the K7 Katinga. Oh, I didn't have a drink for the last super chat, I don't think. What's your favorite ship, alien ship in Star Trek? Hmm. I really like the original series, Romulan Bird of Prey. I also really like the D7. It is a cool design. Um, I can't think of any other ones, honestly. There must be some other good ones that I really like, but I just can't think of any offhand. But yeah, the D7, I've always liked the D7. I've always liked the original series, Romulan Bird of Prey. So those are default ones, I guess. But yeah, those are both TOS. It seems kind of cliche. I don't know. Yeah, there's been a few good ones. Samuel says, "Look, love your framing. Awesome backgrounds. Step up the colors, or set up the colors. Set up and colors. Oh my God. Bleh. Well, this is just one corner of the library, Samuel. This is the Sherlock Holmes shelf, except for like this stuff is not, but it's all the Sherlock Holmes stuff, and then the miscellaneous cool stuff over here. So thank you. I want to always mix things up and make things different as far as background goes. So, Robert Westfall, I hate being cooped up because of this dumb Omicron 5. Ensign MJS, good afternoon, Captain. Good afternoon to you. Captain Casey Stewart, X, nice alien ship. It's okay. Not really a fan. I mean, it's a good design, but it's not one of my favorites for sure. Yeah. Dan Ben, if you could have any FASA or other non-canon ship appear in Star Trek, what would it be? Federation class from the Franz Joseph, for sure. Other than that, from FASA, I mean, the Andor class, the Larson class, even actually the FASA Kobayashi Maru is a really cool design. I wouldn't mind seeing that. There's too many to list as far as that goes. The Klingon D10, the Klingon B10. Um, damn. There's even some FASA Romulan designs that would be really cool. I just can't think of the names of them offhand, but yeah, I absolutely. There's a lot I'd like to see canonized, but I think ideally it'd be the Federation class for me, the Dreadnought. Let's see that actually on screen. So, Robert Westfall. Anyway, reporting in, Mon Capitan. Thank you, Robert. Good to see you. Ensign says hello to you as well, Commander. Robert Westfall, variant cap, variant. What? Well, then put variant instead of V. A capital V is a 5. So put variant. Donnie Pearson is here. Hello, how's it going? Continuing redoing my orchestral mock-up recreation of John Philip Sousa's The Stars and Stripes Forever, among other things. Well, good to see you, Donnie. Thank you for joining. Colin Sommers, Klingon Bird of Prey TNG is my one. Well, the Klingon Bird of Prey was originally seen in Star Trek 3, so I wouldn't necessarily consider that TNG. But I see what you're saying. So do you mean the Cavort class, the bigger one, that didn't have the variable wings? Dan Ben says they use the words Omicron a lot, quite a lot in Star Trek. Yes, they do. Geraldine Karstensen, $25. A Star Trek movie. Will there be one? Who's in it? Who directs? Who cares? Thoughts? Well, I'll have a shot for that, by the way, but I'll address it first. Actually, I'll have a shot first, then I'll address it. Because I was just talking to somebody you guys might know about that very particular thing. All right, I'll have a shot of my Fireball whiskey because why not? So thank you very much, Geraldine. Sorry, this is a Skynet Terminator 2 shot glass. It is full. Gotta love the fireball. All right. So I was just talking to Doug Drexler, who is super happy to be working on Picard. And he's like, the people in charge actually treated me like an original Star Wars gangster, like the original Star Trek OG, which he really appreciates because he got really jerked around by the Discovery guys, and he hasn't forgiven them for that. But Picard, they treat him right, and he even said he's hoping to be working on the next Star Trek movie. Not sure if it's going to happen, but chances are he'll probably be working on it if there is one. So, will there be one? Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Who direct or who's in it? Don't care. The JJ cast is fine. You know, they were fine. Who directs? Honestly, don't care as long as it's not JJ or Michael Bay. Who cares? I mean, a lot of people probably don't care. So there you go. Hope that answered your questions. But yeah, just talking to Doug Drexler about that the other day, and he's looking forward to working on a movie, which he's pretty sure is going to happen. So take that for what it's worth. So Dan said, "What would you like the next Sherlock Holmes TV show or film to be or have in it?" Any new Sherlock Holmes film should be set in the Victorian era. Screw this modern shit. Like Elementary with Johnny Lee Miller is good. I hate the fact that they always end up making the new Watsons. Well, not always, but generally they make the new Watson a female. In this case, it's Lucy Liu. Johnny Lee Miller makes a really good Sherlock Holmes, but I want to see him in a Victorian setting. He absolutely he kills the Sherlock Holmes persona perfectly. So, yes, please. Him in a Victorian series would be awesome. That being said, I really like his Sherlock Holmes portrayal. That being said, Elementary is very much just a police procedural. So if you like that kind of thing, which Sylvie and I both do, it's fun. You see little tie-ins and nods to the original Sherlock Holmes stories, but it's not quite what I want. Benedict Cumberbatch, same thing. It is in the modern era, which is fine, I guess, but honestly, I don't want to see that. I want to see Victorian era. And they did do an episode which was set in the Victorian era, which was really fun to see. So we need a Victorian era Sherlock Holmes show. Who to have in it, though, I don't know. I don't want to see another Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movie, because Robert Downey Jr. is the absolute worst portrayal of Sherlock Holmes. Well, maybe not the worst, but it's definitely up there. There was actually recently just a list of the top 100 Sherlock Holmes, and he was like number 87, because he's just not good. He just plays an eccentric asshole. He doesn't embody or imbue any of Sherlock Holmes's characteristics. So they need to do it right. They need to treat the character right. They need to put it in the right era. That's a big part of Sherlock Holmes, in my opinion. Sherlock Holmes just doesn't quite work in a modern world. So, yeah, I mean, as I've stated all along, Jeremy Brett is the definitive Sherlock Holmes. You probably won't get anything much better than the Granada television series with Jeremy Brett. It was amazing. They covered pretty much every story, and they did a fantastic job. There was a made-for-TV movie a few years ago, well, quite a few years ago in the 80s, called The Return of Sherlock Holmes, where Professor Moriarty actually froze himself or put himself in suspended animation. Sherlock Holmes did the same thing. And again, when he got thawed out in modern times, London Bridge had been moved to Arizona, and he saw it in Arizona because his Dr. Watson's great-great-granddaughter inherited all of Dr. Watson's stuff, including his trunk with all his diaries in it, and this house. And in the basement of the house was the Sherlock Holmes frozen capsule thing. Really great movie, actually. But again, Watson in this one was female, and it's fine, I guess, for the circumstances. And Sherlock Holmes was actually played by one of the Imperial generals from The Empire Strikes Back, the one that welcomes Vader to the was it The Empire Strikes Back? No, I think it was Return of the Jedi. Anyway, he welcomes Vader when Vader gets off the shuttle on either the Death Star or one of the Star Destroyers. But a really good actor and a really good movie. You can find it on YouTube. I think it's called The Return of Sherlock Holmes. But yeah, really good. So that went on way longer than I expected to talk about that. So there you go. Colin Sommers. I like one of the movie. I like one that moves Bird of Prey. Oh, so like the Star Trek 3 one, yeah. Marley McLavy, haha, Fireball Whiskey, House Scotch. Robert says, which planting season is lifelong? From the moment you learn to walk until the day you are no longer able to. Which planting season? I have no fucking idea what you're talking about, Robert. Laughable Larry, how would you feel about a Star Trek horror film? They've done action with the 2009 films, comedy with Lower Decks. Curious how horror would work. Well, Laughable Larry, pretty much all of TOS is horror. If you look at some of the topics they cover, I forget which, there's even a YouTuber that talks about it. It might be Steve Shives, actually, that talks about that a lot of the TOS themes are very horror, like sci-fi future horror, like body, when Charlie X, where the girl gets her face entirely removed and it's just like skin. There's a lot of horror elements to TOS when you really look at it, and a horror movie, like a horror toned Star Trek, it would work, I guess. I mean, there's a few episodes of even Enterprise and stuff where they go, I think it's called The Expanse actually, where they go into they find that Vulcan ship that's got basically the Vulcan zombies on it. It works. It's good. As for a whole movie about that, I'm not sure that tone really fits. Star Trek works as an action film, unfortunately, for a popcorn kind of film, but I don't think the horror thing would catch on necessarily. So, Robert says, planting you planters. Still no idea what you mean. ThinkPad, be careful, Captain. Too much Fireball can be like too much hot sauce in the morning, if you know what I mean. Yep, haven't had that problem though. So, Des says, hey Cap, do you know if Eagle Moss will be making the Excelsior type ship from Lower Decks? Forgot what it was called. Love that ship. That was the Obina class. And they probably will, yes. I can't wait. Can't wait for our interview with Mike McMahon and crew to come out, because we actually talked about the Obina class quite a bit with the guy that it's named after. I forget his first name, but his last name is Obina. And we talk about the design and the delta on the bottom and why it's there and how it could have been worse. But yes, I think Eagle Moss will make one. They better. Des says, Happy Doug is being treated right. Yeah, absolutely. Donnie says, I love Elementary, to be honest. I do too. It got a little away from itself, though. Like, season 1 was much more Sherlockian. And then the last couple of seasons have just all been very police procedural bullshit. Just, it could have been any character and not Sherlock Holmes, and it wouldn't have mattered. It still would have been good. So, Dan says, yeah, I watch all of Elementary when it was on TV. Des says, have you seen Enola Holmes on Netflix? Pretty good. Yes, I did see it. They're making an Enola Holmes 2, by the way. Henry Cavill was also in that 100 Worst Sherlock Holmes, which I shared on Facebook. Henry Cavill was near the 100 mark. Like, he's one of the not as good Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes was not an attractive man. He was an ugly man, first of all, with a very hawk-like nose and receding hairline, and he was not an attractive man. So Henry Cavill doesn't fit the role necessarily. But I did like seeing Henry Cavill playing Sherlock Holmes. I thought that was cool. Big fan of Bobby, whatever the hell her name is, from Stranger Things. Bobby, Millie, whatever, Millie Vanilli. Millie Bobby Brown, that's it. A big fan of hers. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Enola Holmes 2. I thought it was a fun idea, but when they, start talking about Sherlock Holmes' sister, it's like, oh, it's like Michael Burnham. Like, we never knew he had a sister. We knew he had a brother. Mycroft was always his brother, which was great. There's an old Gene Wilder movie called The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother, where his brother is where Gene Wilder plays Shevin Ford Holmes, which ironically enough was supposed to be Sherlock's name in the original Conan Doyle stories. Shevin Ford Holmes was supposed to be his name until it got changed to Sherlock. So I mean, I think Enola Holmes is great. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was bad at all, and just kind of a fun Holmesian romp. So there's a show on Netflix called The Irregulars, which I didn't think I would like. I really liked it. Actually, I should probably go back and rewatch it because it was really well done. It was a horror version of Sherlock Holmes. It had a supernatural aspect to it. I wasn't a fan of the guy that played Sherlock Holmes, but the guy that played Watson, he's also in The Witcher, and it was an interesting take on Holmes and Watson and their relationship, as well as the relationship with the Baker Street Irregulars. So that's on Netflix, called Irregulars, and it's a really great show. I would highly recommend it. The first episode was a little rough to get through. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of it. If you're a Holmes fan, you need to check out The Irregulars. Donnie says, I want to see the next Holmes set in the Victorian era as well, just to stay true to the original stories. Yes. When did you first meet Samuel? I mean, 7.5 years ago. If you mean in person, probably 5 years ago. So yeah, I mean, I met him in person 5 years ago. Met him online like 7.5 years ago, 8 years ago, kind of thing. So. BJ Vincent, hello, Captain. I always wanted to see the FASA Romulan V-30 Wing Defender and the Z-1 Nova class battleship in a movie or TV show. Those are both great choices. Absolutely, yes. Do you remember the Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century series? Absolutely. Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. Sherlock Holmes. And that's cool, too. Where Lestrade's ancestor is a female, and Watson is like some robotic guy. That was actually based on an episode of Brave Star, where Brave Star teamed up with Sherlock Holmes, because Sherlock Holmes was actually frozen as well as suspended animation. And that proved to be really popular, so they made Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century, which I have on DVD. I have the whole series. It's only one season. But yes, I absolutely love that show. It's a great premise. Again, it's very classic Sherlock Holmes with the deerstalker and the pipe, and but that's fine. I mean, it works well. And the robotic Watson guy is interesting. It's fun. It's fun. But yeah, I actually have that song on my MP3 player, so when I'm driving, sometimes it comes up randomly. That's Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. Sherlock Holmes in the 20th. It's great. But yeah, that was actually based off an episode of Brave Star. It was a two-parter that Sherlock Holmes came back. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I like it. Definitely the second Death Star. Then again, it was the other way around. Vader welcoming Sidious to the second Death Star. In Return of the Jedi, that is. When we first heard the word theme, I had thought of theme tunes. Eric Martin is here. Have you tried the creamy 40 Creek? Not yet, sir. No, we have not. I need to do that. That doesn't need to be refrigerated, I hope, because it hasn't been refrigerated. Mark says, hello from Germany. I love your channel. Thank you very much, Mark. I love Germany. I'm half German, half Irish. So, you're my peeps. Marley McLay says there was a Deep Space Nine episode that mimics the paranoia of the Thing. Yes, there's been a lot of horror-themed Star Trek episodes, for sure. View from Lookout says, my favorite Sherlock Holmes was about the Sussex vampire with Jeremy Brett as Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, it's funny because the Sussex vampire was never actually a story. It was a story that was referred to in another story and never actually was its own story. It was one of those unreleased ones by Watson. So there's been a few versions of it over the years in novel form or whatever that people have tried to, and that was one of the original Granada series episodes with Jeremy Brett, where they tried to make their own story based on that title. It didn't quite work for me. I need to go back and revisit it. I haven't seen that one in years. But I remember not being a big fan of it. I remember Jeremy Brett like turning around with the vampire fangs to kind of spook out Watson at the beginning of it, and get his thoughts on vampires. But yeah, the Sussex Vampire was never actually a story. It was just a referred to story. Same with the Giant Rat of Sumatra. It was referenced in another story, but we never got the context of what the story was about because there was never an actual story that was that told the tale. So Dan Ben, in Star Wars Legend, the book Death Troopers would be good as a horror movie. Yeah, for sure. Colin Barrett, evening captain, running a bit late, got drafted to go do some emergency planning session. Well, thanks for stopping by. Have fun with your emergency planning session. Sorry, it's an emergency. That light is really bothering me now that it's getting dark outside. God damn it. I gotta go downstairs and make sure I have a light bulb for this thing. Because I don't think I do. Mother. Not a band account, $2. Is it true Canadians can't go out at night? No. That's just stupid. Unless you're talking about Quebec, because Quebec has a 10 p.m. curfew, because it's fucking Quebec. So yes, while Ontario is in a lockdown again, it's not as strict as of a lockdown, and no, we don't have any stupid curfews. We can go out whenever the fuck we want. So no, it is not true, but yes, it is for Quebec. But considering Quebec doesn't want to be part of Canada anyway, it's absolutely not true for Canadians. No, we do not have a curfew. Millie Bobby Brown. Thank you, Donnie. Yes. Cool. I didn't know if Enola Part 2 was being made. Yep, apparently it is. Robert Westfall. Sorry, Cap. When I said planting you planters, I meant to say planting your planters. It's the punchline for the planting season joke. I don't get it. I don't get it. Donnie says, the 1974 Paramount Pictures musical adaptation of Little Prince introduced me to the late Gene Wilder. Yeah, but there's like I said, the movie The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother is a very fun Gene Wilder movie. So it's got Madeline Kahn in it, and it's great. It's a good movie, for sure. David Thompson, I wish they would do something on the Federation-class dreadnoughts. Yes. Sobraxis, El Capitan, it is I, your nemesis, Jan, to be read as Yan. Jan! El Capitan, it is I, your nemesis, Jan. Des says, yep, really like the Irregulars. Donnie Pearson says, I haven't seen the Regulars. It's not the Regulars, it's the Irregulars, Cap. Nor have I seen Space Force for that matter, yet I plan to binge watch the latest season for watching the second one. Donnie Pearson, great show and great theme tune as well, referring to the Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. Oh, the memories. Dan Ben, what is your opinion on Red Dwarf? I recently watched more episodes. I love Red Dwarf. I think it's a really great, fun British comedy. I love it. I think it's great. Me and Sylvia haven't watched all of them. I haven't watched the last couple of, I don't know, the fucking British and your series, which are seasons of a show. They're not different series, they're seasons, but whatever. You space them out like 5 years later, you'll get a new season of a show. It's like, stop doing that. I've missed the last like two seasons of Red Dwarf because of that. I don't know. I watched most of them. Let's put it that way. Dan Ben, what is your opinion on? Oh, I read that one. Never mind. Marley McClay. Nicholas Meyer wrote first Sherlock Holmes novel starting with the 7% solution. Yes, Nicholas Meyer, the director of Star Trek II, is a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. He recently just released a Sherlock Holmes book, the Riddle of the Sphinx, or there's something about Pharaoh. It's an Egyptology one. But yes, he is a big Sherlock Holmes fan, and I do have the 7% solution in novel form. Where be it? Oh, it's down here probably. Yeah, 7% solution. Right there. #1 bestseller. There you go. Being a reprint from the reminiscences of John H. Watson, MD, as edited by Nicholas Meyer. So yeah, Nicholas Meyer's a huge Sherlock Holmes fan, which is fantastic. And this teams up Sherlock Holmes and Sigmund Freud. This was made into a movie, and it's interesting. They even battled it out with the Loch Ness monster, which is fake, obviously. But yeah, 7% Solution by Nicholas Meyer. Fun fact: Nicholas Meyer, director of Star Trek II, is a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. So. All right. Defiant Mr. Raven Productions. What up, motherfucker? I'm here. Got my hands on the G2 Colors Decepticon Ramjet. Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century is so fucking good. Yes. Colin Sommers. The early Red Dwarf is better. Totally agree with that. 1000%. Eric Martin. Once you open it, you do have to put it in the fridge. Before opening it, it's fine at room temperature. Okay, haven't opened it yet, so that's good. Good to know. Alex Graham, Jeremy Brett was mega as Holmes. Yes, he is the definitive Sherlock Holmes, in my opinion. The perfect incarnation of Sherlock Holmes. Super Crew 63 was watching Stargate Universe and did not recall Ming Na Win being on it, but lo and behold, there she was, 12 years old. 12 years younger, and to tell the truth, she hasn't aged a bit. No, she's fucking 58. She's 58 now in the Book of Boba Fett, and she does not look 58. She looks fucking phenomenal for her age. I'd peg her. I'd say that she was in her mid 30s for sure, because she is fine. Tom and Jerry Met Sherlock Holmes, the film. Haven't seen that. I watched Sherlock and Joan Watson. There we go with changing Watson to a female. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like it, honestly. But Dan Ben's Scooby-Doo meets Sherlock Holmes. Haven't seen that one. I've got the comics, though, of Sherlock Holmes takes on the Clown Prince of Crime, which is the Joker. Because, as you know, Batman is the world's greatest detective. Step off, bitch. Sherlock Holmes had that classification first. So, yeah, Sherlock Holmes is the world's greatest detective. I don't give a shit what any Batman fan says. But anyway, yeah, so I got those comics where he takes on the Joker. I don't remember the context of them. I don't remember why it's Holmes versus the Joker, but yeah. I really liked the Prodigy looks great and really accurate. Yeah, that's our episode today. We do a comparison of them and how accurate it actually is. So, also, what are you drinking tonight, good sir? Also, God, I love Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes. I'm drinking Sleeman Original Draft beer and having some Fireball for shots. So thank you. Des says, yep, we're fucked in Quebec. We're in lockdown from 10 p.m. to 8 or 5 a.m. That sucks, man. Tabarnak! That is like the most offensive swear word to the French Canadians is tabarnak. But yeah, sorry to hear that, Des. Didn't know you were from Quebec. I'm not a big fan of the Québécois and French Canadians. I am not really a fan of them. So I'm sorry for you and your curfew. And I'm also sorry that you're from Quebec. Don't hate me. Thanks for your greeting. I'm a big Star Trek fan and watch them all in English and German. Original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, all movies, Picard, and Lower Decks, etc. Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Matt Boardman. Yeah, that's been taken care of. Matt, don't worry. Lockdown says, holy shite, G4 TV is going down in flames. Shit, G4 TV hasn't been around forever, as far as I know. Dan says, yeah, Ming, we've seen her in ER, Stargate Universe, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and now she's in Star Wars. Yeah, she's awesome. SRB Bent, $20. Happy New Year, or beer. What do you think about the best untouched period for a series to be set? Romulan War, prequel showing the start of the eugenics wars and diverging from our own timeline sometime between 2500 and 2900. Nope, the best time for an untouched era of Trek is between the movies and Next Generation. So the time period of the ambassador classes and the Enterprise C, that lost era. There's 80 years of history there that's never really been explored. I honestly don't give a shit to see the Romulan Wars. I know a lot of people. This is why I licked the thing. I'm the only one that uses this, first of all. But if you don't lick the fucking bottle or wipe it, it gets so sticky it's hard to open. So if you ever see me lick it, somebody was like, ew. Like, yeah, who cares? It's my bottle. Nobody else touches it. And I'd rather be able to open the fucking thing. So anyway, cheers. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, SRB Bent. But yeah, that lost era, the time of the ambassador class ships, that time leading up to TNG, that's the era that's got to be explored. So, Robert says, plantars, it's a medical term for your feet, planting your feet. I know what a plantar's wart is, so yeah, I still don't get the joke though. It's been lost in the context of everything. David says, I got COVID and I haven't been outside in a year. Well, shit. Donnie says, oops, sorry, Cap. My keyboard has a mind of its own sometimes, but I'm already keeping that in mind. That's okay, Donnie. I was reading it and it's like, nah, I'm not going to mention it. People can read your thing, so they get the information, but yeah. Colin Saunders, Smeghead. Yes. If you don't know what a Smeghead is, chances are you are one. Mark says, unfortunately, Discovery doesn't exist in Germany. We have only Amazon Prime and Netflix. Paramount Plus doesn't exist. Is the series a good one? Make any sense to buy it via Amazon? Live long and prosper. A lot of people will say no to that. I'd say yes, check it out. I'm rewatching Discovery. Binge watching season 1 is good. It's a lot better as a binge watch. However, the first 2 episodes are rough, so just ignore the first 2 episodes. I mean, watch them, but just realize that when you're bored halfway through, to keep going, because once episode 3 hits, you get introduced to the Discovery and Tilly and Stamets and Lorca, then it gets good, in my opinion. It's actually kind of enjoyable. But as a whole, yeah, Discovery's seasons 1 and 2 are not the best, but it is worth watching. As a Star Trek fan, I'm going to say it's worth watching. Haters be damned. Matt Boardman, not that anyone else here seems to have an issue, but just a reminder that all that it's okay to not like something, but when you belabor a point, and that's all you can talk about, that's not cool. Yeah, they can go fuck themselves. So, Geraldine Carstensen, $5. Favorite paperback set in TOS? Paperback set. I don't know what you mean by set. If you're picking a book series in Star Trek, I would go with the Vanguard series of books, as I've said many times before. There's also a 3-book series. I can't remember what it's called. It is over there. I can barely see it, but it's where the Enterprise gets, or Kirk, Spock, and or just McCoy gets thrown back in time. And hold on, let me see if I can see the series here. Yeah, Star Trek Crucible. Crucible McCoy, Crucible Spock, and Crucible Kirk books. It's a 3-book series, and it's really good. I remember that McCoy gets thrown back in time, and he keeps putting ads in the newspaper every week, so that if they're looking for him from the future, they'd be able to see his name. But yeah, the Star Trek Crucible. I mean, look that up. It's a 3-book thing, but they're really good. Geraldine, read that one. Sorry. Mark says, hope my English is okay for you. I'm not a native speaker. I learned it at school and was in 2009 for a year and a half in the US. Yeah, your fucking English is great, man. I give kudos to anyone that can understand or speak 2 languages. My mother-in-law can speak 7 languages. I don't get it. I ask her questions all the time, like, so if you're talking to somebody, in, let's say, Croatian, which she had to learn because she married a Croatian. When you're talking to somebody or you're over in Croatia and everybody's speaking it, when you think inside your head, do you think in Croatian before you speak? And I forget what her answer was, but it's an interesting question. So anybody that can speak more than 1 language, I give them total props. I can't speak more than 1 language. And I know, oh, Canadians are all bilingual. No, we're not. I had to take French to grade 9, and then I could drop out of it. I took the French to grade 9. I didn't learn much. So, yeah. But kudos to you, man. Your English is great. Matt Boardman. I think you might be able to watch episodes of it on Pluto TV in Germany. Cool. Donnie says, and she still kicks butt as well in a good way. Squadra Course puts in $1. That is a drink. Thank you so much, Squadra Course. By the way, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. 30-something man-child throws in £2. What have I missed? Not been on a live for a while. Oh, it's just a lot of Sherlock Holmes talk, actually. I think the background is, influencing people's questions. But that's fine. I still need to do a live Sherlock Holmes discussion on my Captain Foley personal channel, which if you guys aren't subscribed to, go subscribe to the Captain Foley personal channel. I would really appreciate the subscribers over there. Plus, you get conversations and videos on Sherlock Holmes, Swords, Phantom of the Opera, 80s cartoons, Dragon Riders of Pern, Tour of the Universe, all the other things I'm interested in that aren't Star Trek. I don't want to necessarily clutter up the Trekyards channel with that shit. So if you're interested in any other things or just like me as a persona or personality, go check out the Captain Foley personal channel and subscribe, please. Squadra Course says, hi all, how's it going? Had the stream up but couldn't chat because it was on the phone. You can still chat on the phone. You know that, right? You just hit there's 2 little voice speech bubbles and you click that and that's a live chat. So, Tony Pearson Batman is among my favorite comic book characters. Batman's cool, but he's overdone, I think. Especially by cosplayers. It's a simple persona to take on, and yeah, I do like Batman though. I was a huge DC fan. I was much more of a DC fan back in the day than I was Marvel. But now that Marvel is like in the MCU, like they've really hit it out of the park, and they're both really good now. But DC seemed more to me like what superheroes should be, not just mutants or Iron Man. Had no interest in Iron Man, had no interest in Captain America, had no interest in Thor, had no interest in any of that shit growing up. But Superman, Batman, I'd collect the comics here and there, like those were superheroes to me. So, yeah. SRB bent $5. Did you or the commander ever talk about or read the Star Trek manga that came out years ago? I remember reading it at the library ages ago. Yes, I have it. I don't think we ever talked about it, but there is one of the Star Trek mangas that has Kirk was the reason for the Borg Queen coming to reality. The problem is, SBR Ben, I will have a drink, sorry. The problem is, I really can't stand anime. I can't stand the storytelling, the structure of it. I like the visuals, but anime is really fucking hard to watch. It puts me to sleep. It's so fucking boring. I don't know what it is about the story structure that makes it so I can't stay awake, but it's just fucking boring. And manga's the same shit. I can't read a manga book. There's a really great... I collect books. I don't know if you can tell. I love books. I'll buy a book. I love the smell of a new book. I love the feel of a new book. I love the sound of a new book. I love cracking it open. I love looking at it. Don't necessarily always read them. I need to get into reading more often, like 20 minutes a day, even if that's something I should probably do, actually. But anyway, there's a really cool manga at a store here in London. It's called Neo Tokyo. That has a lot of manga shit and stuff. They have a Transformers manga book, which I love the look of. But the thing I can't stand about manga is the fact you read it from back to front. My OCD just does not fucking allow that. I do not like reading manga. I do not enjoy it. I do not enjoy green eggs and ham. I do not like it, Sam. I am. I can't get into manga for that reason. Anime as well. I can't really watch anime. I love the style. I love the visual style of anime. I like when they dub it and they make it more American or Canadian, I guess. Or it's more American, but because I'm a huge fan of Battle of the Planets, which is Gachaman. The original was Gachaman. I do have the original Gachaman, a complete series now. I'm on disc fucking 6, but there's like 17 discs, whatever. I'm in that. They changed it in North America to be Battle of the Planets, changed the characters' names, made it more kid friendly, added Seven's Arc 7, cut out a lot of the violence and more mature plot lines. But this one is the original plot lines. That I can enjoy when it's translated. I can't stand reading anything subtitled. I like dubbed, but even dubbed stuff like Ghost in the Shell and stuff, I've watched a lot of that stuff, and it's boring as fuck. I don't know what it is about the story structure of anime, but the way that they tell stories is fucking boring. I can get over a lot of it just to enjoy, like, to get into a story and to actually say that I saw the story. Like, I watched Akira, I watched Ghost in the Shell, I watched Fist of the North Star. I watched a lot of the standard anime shit, but I can't stand an anime series. I can't stand the characters. I can't stand the whining. I can't stand the over exaggerated expressions. That being said, I love the structure of things. I love the way that things are presented on screen. I love the animation style more often than not. I love the mech and the technology that's involved, but the story structure is just boring as fuck. So, in answer to your question, we never talked about it. I've mentioned it a few times that there was a manga where Kirk was the reason that the Borg Queen existed. So he's the reason, he's the impetus for the Borg. And I have that manga over there somewhere. I need to go take a look. But yes, it is there. I've got like 3 manga Star Trek books. I don't think I read them all, just because I can't read manga. I can't do the back to the front of a book. My OCD just says, no, this is not fucking right. What's fucking wrong with your brain? It's an OCD dyslexic problem that I can't get into manga. So hopefully that helps. I see Trekyards as Samuel's talking about a bunch of stuff, but I'm behind in the chat. I'm going to try to catch up to you, and then I'll see what you're saying, Samuel. Donnie Pearson, Batman can be inspired by Sherlock Holmes. Imagine Bat saying, "Elementary, my dear Robin." LOL. Disney, Basil, the Great Mouse Detective. Hey, the Great Mouse Detective is fucking great. I love it. I love that Vincent Price plays the bad guy in that. It is fun. It is fun. And he is a mouse that lives at 221B Baker Street. He is a mouse that lives, and you see actual Sherlock Holmes in his world, and he's just the mouse in the wall, and he's Basil at Baker Street. I love Basil Baker Street. Sorry, the Great Mouse Detective. Dystopian guy is here. Yay. SVS Guru 2000 puts in £5. What do you think of Major Grin's criticism? The Nandi ears are too big. Also, episode was too short. Barely any time to explore that alien world. The episode was too short. Exploring the alien world didn't really interest me. It just looked like fucking Tatooine. It was just a fucking desert, so who cares? And Major Grin, I haven't seen that yet, but I'll have a string for. But he is right. The female Ferengi's ears are smaller, generally. That doesn't mean that every fucking Ferengi's ears are smaller. How many genetic mutations and birth defects and, weird anomalies are there in humans? So you can't say that, oh, her ears are too fucking big. She could be an outlier. She could have been a male Ferengi that had a sex change to female Ferengi. She could be a trans Ferengi. Who the fuck knows? Who the hell cares? She looked great. Okay, she didn't look like the redesigned, Ferengi from Discovery, which I'm trying to. The Riemann. She doesn't look like the Riemann designed Ferengi from Discovery. So I'm totally down with it. And Major Grin is funny. His videos are funny, but at the same time, it's like, take into account that not everybody's the same. Some people have bigger fucking ears. Some people have huge fucking noses. Some people have pointy noses. Some people have bulbous noses. Doesn't mean that every fucking Ferengi looks the same. So that's kind of a piss off to me a little bit. But whatever. If you see 5 Ferengi females in Prodigy lined up side by side and they all have the same size ears, then you might have something to bitch about. But if it's just one, no. That's not fucking acceptable, because you know what? There are differences among species. So shut the fuck up. Des says, I'm half Quebecois and I hate the French. That's funny. Sorry. I'm not a big fan of French Canadians. They're just fucking rude and they hate English speakers. And Samuel and myself were in Montreal and y'all are fucking rude. You're fucking rude to English folks. I get it, but chill. Squadron Core says, I wish Prodigy episodes were 45 minutes. So do I. Robert says, Batman did show up Sherlock Holmes in an episode on a recent show, but then he did call the detective the greatest of all time. I'd have to see that, but that'd be cool. Donnie says, in Canada, the same way I love United States of America, I have only been to supernatural British Columbia, but the rest of the true north, strong and free, are on the bucket list. Well, come to Toronto, Donnie. I would love to meet you. I'm only like an hour and a half away from Toronto. Anybody that comes to Toronto, I would love to meet up with you. Yes, Toronto for the win. Everybody knows where Toronto is, so I'll just go and drive down there because it's just not that far of a drive. So, ever watch Doctor Who? Not really. Dan Ben, was Sherlock Holmes Muppets? Was a Sherlock Holmes Muppets comic once? Haven't seen that. Squadron Course, wish I'd gotten the Excelsior series when they were helping the Klingons after the Praxis explosion. Yeah, I don't have those either. Eric Martin says, did you see the end of the Expanse season 6? I did. That is the way to end a series. And you can still do more. That's fucking great. I love that. Yeah, I watched that last night. And The Expanse, guys, I highly recommend it. Samuel, I know you're still watching. The Expanse is great. Now that it's over, you need to watch it. Because the whole thing is laid out in front of you. You can binge watch it. I had to wait for the last episode. Because I thought the last episode was last week. So I watched it. It's like, oh, shit. I got to wait a week for the finale. But it's really good. 30-something man child says, looks like Cap is getting trashed tonight. Just poured myself a whiskey to join in. Good man. Turd Ferguson, if Ming Na and Paul Rudd had kids, would they be immortal? Probably. View from Look Up puts in £2. Bit of money for the Corona Beer Fund, Cap. Thank you. You must watch Steve Wallace, his Step 2s. If you guys are into camping, stealth camping, just camping in general, I'd suggest checking out Steve Wallace. He is a fantastic Canadian. He's from British Columbia. He does stealth camping and really cool camping videos. And he always has a step 2, and he's a beer fund donation, which is his Patreon. So people contribute to that to buy his beer and his equipment, essentially. So yeah, View from Lookout, let me know if you're a fan of Steve Wallace, because that sounds like you are with the beer fund. I could be wrong, but if you guys are into camping and really want to see some cool stuff, look up Steve Wallace on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. Tell him Trekyards sent you. He doesn't know who the fuck I am, but I watch him all the time. And he has some really great camping videos. I don't even really like camping. I'm too old for camping. I used to camp a lot when I was a kid, but now that I'm older, no, absolutely not. I hate camping. But anyway, I still like watching people camp and learning the little secrets, and it's fun. Colin Saunders, South Park really put down Canadians with the flapping heads. Yeah. Donnie says, I can imagine the unused ambassador class being used in the future incarnation of Star Trek, yet reworked and redubbed the embassy class. After all, ambassadors do indeed lead embassies. Eric Martin says, wasn't the ambassador the class where they were changing the duotronics to isolinear tech and it didn't go well at first? Yeah, I believe so. View from Lookout, Captain Pike was good in Star Trek Disco Season 2. Yes, he was. Colin Somners, I am watching them to captain the Star Trek Discovery. What? What? Donnie Pearson, it's like Ken Adams' redesign of the Enterprise being an inspiration for the subtitular Crossfield class Federation starship in Star Trek Discovery. Squadron Course, wait, are we talking about Star Trek books? We're talking about anything and everything here. Turd Ferguson, Trekyards. Are the first two seasons of any franchise really that good? Season 1 and 2 of TNG are rougher than 60 Grits. They're not, though. Turd, we've gone back and reviewed we're up to season 5 of TNG now. Season 1 and 2 have, majority of the episodes are really good. Why do you think the show stuck around? It can't be a shit piece of shit show and keep getting renewed back in the day, without having its own channel, essentially, without being good. There's some good episodes. There's a lot of good episodes in season 1 and 2 of TNG. A lot of people just get this blanket like, oh yeah, season 1 and 2 of TNG are just fucking awful. I'll never watch them again. I remember so many bad episodes, but go back and watch it. There's a lot of good episodes as well. And yes, it's not the TNG you remember because they changed the uniforms, they got better at storytelling. So of course you're going to remember the better stuff. But go back and watch season 1 and 2. It's not as bad as everybody says it is. And yes, there are shows that start out with a fucking bang and dwindle. A lot of shows, their best seasons are seasons 1 and 2. Shows like Sleepy Hollow. What's the other one? Grimm. Shows like Grimm. And then once the seasons go on, Supernatural is another fucking great example. Supernatural was supposed to end after 5 seasons. They wanted to do 14 because of the sex appeal of the main characters. So they had a story arc that was revolved around 5 seasons, and then they had to keep stretching it out. So some shows fucking start off with a bang and just dwindle. Game of Thrones is one of them. Game of Thrones, the last season is fucking garbage. But the first couple seasons are fucking great. So you can't say that about that every show is bad for the first 1 or 2 seasons. That's absolutely not true. Prodigy is off to a fucking fantastic start. So don't even get me started on that. Like, you can have a fantastic first and second season if you have it all planned out and ready to go and you know what you're going to do. And The Expanse is another example. Expanse season 1, I don't enjoy, but I need to go back and rewatch, let's be fair. It's too political and too slow for me. But that being said, it was good enough to hook people. Season 2 was good. Season 2 is where it started getting good for me, about 4 episodes in. Season 3 was fucking phenomenally great. Season 4 kind of hit a little bit of a road bump for me, but wasn't that bad. Season 5 picked up again, and Season 6 was great. So, shows, depending on the format, shows can have a really good first and second season. Samuel says Disco season 1 is the worst season of Star Trek, even worse than DS9 season 1. I'm going to disagree with you, Samuel. Now that I'm binge watching it again, I really enjoy seeing Lorca and Stamets and Tilly and the introduction of the Discovery. I think it's a fantastic, intriguing story that could have gone somewhere really cool. The black badges, the mystery of the ship, what's going on, the Ripper, the ship twisting, like killing everybody on board. Like, it had a good horror element to it. It could have been really great. And then they kind of changed directions for season 2. But those first 2 episodes I can't get past. Those first 2 episodes are fucking garbage. There's a couple moments of good stuff in them, but those first 2 episodes of season 1 of Discovery are fucking garbage. So I understand why people tune the fuck out. But honestly, it's not as bad as you think. And it is the worst Star Trek? Possibly. Yeah, it probably is. Picard was pretty bad, though. Picard season 1 was not fucking great. So, Alex Graham, get out of the chat, Samuel. Subraxis, nothing can be worse than TNG season 1 and Final Frontier. Well, you're wrong, because season 1's not that bad of TNG, and The Final Frontier was actually a good movie. I enjoyed The Final Frontier. It's a guilty pleasure. It has that TOS episode feel, especially between the 3 of them, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. The trifecta fucking works in that movie. So I disagree 1,000%. If they hadn't had their budget cut 15 fucking times and had to change things because of budgetary reasons, I think Star Trek V would have been fucking fantastic. However, they got stuck with the hand they got dealt, which was garbage. So I don't think Shatner actually did that bad of a movie considering, so I disagree with you there. Dan Ben says, you speak Klingon? I know a few Klingon phrases. Des says, when I speak French, I think in English. That's funny. Donnie says, I used to take Spanish classes in my college days, yet I'm teaching myself that language, French, Russian, German, and a few others. That is awesome. RB Bent. All I remember of French is how to say my name and how I am a sausage. Okay. Colin says, yes, get out of the chat, Samuel. Eric Martin says, good night and stay inside in Ontario, Canada. It's seriously cold here. Not that cold. It's got a little bit of a bite in the air, but it's not that cold. It could be a lot worse, Eric, but yes, it is kind of cold. Scotch, of course, said, is that Samuel lurking behind the Trekyards account? It is. Alex Graham says, good to know you're watching along, Samuel. Samuel says, if you watch TNG Season 1 again, you'll see it's rarely bad, but not often good. Disco Season 1 was a lot of bad with only a little bit of okay. TNG Season 1 is much more enjoyable. Yeah. Joseph Barbato, you know what I miss? Old school arcades. I do too. I used to go to one in Stratford all the time. I do miss old school arcades. There's actually one in London here that just opened called Tilt, and it's a bar and lounge, and it's just full of fucking arcade games and pinball games, and I haven't gone yet, and I need to go. Dan Ben, yeah, Pluto TV is showing Discovery Season 4. I don't know if they have any other seasons on there. Samuel says, we reviewed it in all deep dives, so we can say that. Yes, we can. Absolutely. Squadron Crush chosen $1, which is another drink, so thank you. Much, much appreciated. Bill says, have you watched 3 episodes of Peacemaker? Yes, I did watch them all last night. It's fucking ridiculous, that show. I used to think John Cena was a bad actor. He works very well for this role, and I love his eagle. So, yes, I watched it last night. Dan Ben, Pluto TV is an app and does not have adverts on there. Cool. Colin Sumner says, I've not seen any more new ones on Pluto TV. John Doe says, hello, I have a Voyager tech question. Tuvok and Paris were in the brig. Tuvok says they're confined behind electrostatic force fields. I'm thinking they're using the shell effect of electrons like in atoms. Dude, I have no fucking idea what you just said, but yes, I totally agree with everything you just said. Donnie Pearson, I know a few Russian words, including my favorite, Gospody, whatever, pronounced Goshposhdi Pumilo. Okay. I know a really great Croatian, swearing thing. Jubenti Isusa. Jubenti Isusa. If you know Russian, or not Russian, if you know Croatian, you'll know what I'm saying. It's like Tabernak. I just said 2 of the most offensive things in the space of 30 seconds just there. Yeah. But Jubenti Isusa in Croatian means something along the lines of let Jesus fuck your mother or something. So it's pretty offensive. So there you go. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Jubenti Isusa. Dan Ben, have you ever played a Sherlock Holmes video game? Yeah, I've got a few, and they're not very good. I've got a few. One of them is around here somewhere. Got an old 8-bit one. Oh yeah, The Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes, which is on this shelf here, back here. I don't want to pull it out right now, but also got one for the Xbox. Actually, I had 2 or 3 for the Xbox. I've never played them all the way through because honestly, they're boring as fuck. I love Sherlock Holmes, but it doesn't really transfer to a video game for me. Just wandering around looking for clues. I'm not very good at solving the mysteries. I love reading about how the mysteries get solved, but I'm not good at solving them myself. So, Donnie Pearson, Russian for Lord have mercy. Robert Westfall, well, the mother is home. I'm going to head off. Permission to leave. Yes, permission granted. Bill says, Stuart, what do you think of the Power Rangers Vespa gang in episode 3 of Book of Boba? Not a big fan. However, it was a callback to like American Graffiti. I didn't like the Vespas. You could tell they were fucking on wheels with the way they were driving around. They didn't stabilize them at all, so you could tell they were on wheels, even though they airbrushed that shit out or CGI'd that shit out. Sorry, that's an old school saying. And they don't have money for water, but they have money to soup up their fucking bikes. Like, priorities, guys. So I wasn't the biggest fan. I do like the characters, though. I like the actors and I like the characters, but not a fan of the idea as a whole, if that helps. Dan Ben, well, keep seeing the advert on Disney for Discovery on Pluto TV, on TV a lot. Samuel says, hey, 30 something, just working on First Frontier Special Edition while I watch. Cool. Glad that you're watching me, Samuel. I love you. Mwah. Alex Graham, busy boy. Yes, he is. Donnie Pearson, my introduction to Gachaman was one of its English-speaking adaptations, the G-Force. It wasn't called the G-Force, it was just G-Force. And the show was actually called Battle of the Planets. But yes, they were G-Force. And yes, that's what I watched growing up. So much so that I watched it before going to kindergarten when I was 5 years old. Every morning. There was Battle of the Planets and the Mighty Hercules. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da. Hercules, hero song and story. Hercules, winner of ancient glory, fighting with his might, fighting with his right, with the strength of 10 ordinary men. Hercules. And people feel safe when near him. Anyway, watch that and G-Force before going to fucking kindergarten. I loved G-Force so much. And yes, we called the show G-Force, even though it was called officially Battle of the Planets. But so much so that I wanted to change my name to Mark, because Mark was the leader of the team, and I thought he was fucking great. And I wanted to change. I asked my parents if I could change my name to Mark, and they said no, that's stupid. So I could have been Mark Foley for. But anyway, that's how much that show influenced me. I love the Phoenix. I think it's a fantastic design for a ship. It was so ingrained in my head. There was no fucking G-Force Gachaman merchandise at the time. My parents found a belt, a leather belt that had the Phoenix on it, little prints of the Phoenix, and I wore that to Sunday school. That was my special Sunday school or church belt, because it cost money because they got it from, I don't know fucking where they got it from, but there was nothing available. So my brother Steve, who was a fantastic artist, he would draw like G-Force comics and like spiral notebooks for me. He was really good at drawing. He was really good at drawing the characters. We would draw the Phoenix on paper planes. We'd make a paper plane, and we would draw the Phoenix on it and throw it around to the point where the nose got all smashed up and it eventually didn't fly worth a shit. So we'd make another one and have him draw on it. I tried to make the Phoenix out of Lego. I love the ship so much, and you couldn't buy the fucking merchandise. I now have a nice Phoenix in the other room that was from Japan a few years ago. I also got the new Academy model kit downstairs that I need to build. So I've got some Phoenixes now, but when I was a kid, I wanted that ship and I couldn't find it. So plus you have the Gachaman Phoenix one. I do now, yes. Samuel says, Alex got to earn back Christmas. Yeah. 30-something man-child. Awesome. Subraxis. I rewatched entire TNG less than 2 years ago, and the first season contains like 7 or 8 full-fledged embarrassing stinkers, like 5 or 6 good episodes, and the rest are mediocre, underwhelming. Again, totally disagree. Those stinkers that you recall have some good stuff in them. Yes, they might overall not have an A, B, and C plot, like they eventually got into that format, but there are a few, I wouldn't necessarily call them stinkers. There's a few that are really bad, like Code of Honor and stuff, obviously, and Angel One. Like, there's one or two good premises in there, one or two good scenes, one or two good little informational bits. But yes, overall, pretty bad. But to say that there are 5 or 6 good ones is totally fucking wrong. Out of 24 episodes, I would say there were probably 15 that were good, and then 3 or 4 that were really bad. So Sam says, yes, Subaraxis, sure, I can get behind that, but Disco Season 1 has 2 good episodes, 3 okay ones, and 7 stinkers. So yeah, much worse by the numbers. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that, Samuel. I need to go back and take a look, but I'm enjoying it the second time around, or the third or fourth, whatever the fuck time it is that I'm watching it. It's much better as a binge watch. Discovery is just much better as a binge watch as a whole. So I think there are more than 2 good episodes for sure. Samuel says, and the good episodes aren't even good by Trek standards, just by I disagree. Alex Graham, I know the feeling, but probably in a different way. Of course, you can have the time off, but you must do all the admin for everything going on. Hey, Samuel, have you watched the 3 episodes of Peacemaker? No, he won't watch Peacemaker. Matt Boardman, the Great Mouse Detective, does not get nearly enough love, in my opinion. Totally agree, Matt. Samuel says, I have not, Bill, but I want to. I saved quite a lot of TV to watch with the girlfriend. 30-something man-child, currently rewatching DS9. I forgot that Bashir is originally a creeper, unsuccessful writer. I wouldn't call him that at all. But yeah, I used to hate Bashir when I first watched DS9, and now he's like one of my favorite characters. I think he's fucking great. You got to admit, Bashir and O'Brien, that's Samuel and me. I'm O'Brien. I'm the Irish, shorter, smarter, in a different way guy. And then Samuel, the taller, arrogant, British, genetically altered to be super smart and super good at a lot of things. But still, they're best friends, and they have their problems with each other, and I think Samuel and me should cosplay as O'Brien and Bashir. Tell me in the chat if I'm right or wrong. Should we cosplay at a convention as those two? Because we definitely look the part. Alex Graham, I've been really impressed by Prodigy. The animation has been amazing, and the representation of all things Trek have been mega. Absolutely agree. Squadron Course says, appreciate the Trek talk. I'm working on the first full outline of book 2 today. Wow, I still haven't read book 1, man. So Braxis, I've never seen any real stinker on Discovery. I can easily rewatch entire seasons of it, but even when I rewatch DS9, my most favorite Star Trek ever, I usually skip through every other Ferengi focused episode. Oh, you're missing some good stuff if you're missing some comedy gold if you fucking skip through the Ferengi stuff, dude. I don't know why people skip fucking episodes when they're rewatching stuff. Just rewatch it. Don't even skip scenes. I don't like this character, so I'm skipping a scene. That's not how you fucking rewatch something. You'll never get an appreciation for the nuances if you fucking do that. Don't do that at all. And yes, there are some stinkers on Discovery. So Colin Sommers says, start sings to do the Ferengi. What? Turd Ferguson says, weren't Quark's mom's lobes bigger than Quark's? And are her lobes sex organs? That means Quark had a small one. They're not sex organs. They're like nipples. They're like a secondary sex organ. They can be stimulated. I mean, even human ears are a secondary sex organ. If they're licked or, gently kissed or caressed, they can create arousal. So that's not what that means at all. And yeah, his mom had bigger ones and were a little bit saggy because she's older. That's fine. Mark says, thanks for your great feedback. Very appreciated. Okay, I take a closer look at Pluto TV. I never see this name before. It looks like an app. Been rewatching some old Fleet Yards clips. Would you guys consider doing new Fleet Yards Expanse ships? Yes. Yes, the Expanse is fantastic. Robert says, permission to disembark. Yes, for fuck's sakes, Robert. You don't have to ask permission to leave. Just leave. Trekyards says, Expanse is coming back. There is more books, but there is a natural time break. Expanse season 1 is pretty slow burn, but does a lot of world and character building. Too much, too political, in my opinion. It almost made me not watch the fucking show, which I'm glad I powered through it, but oof, I don't remember anything from season 1, really. Like 1 or 2 scenes. I need to go back and rewatch now that I can appreciate the whole thing. Trekyards says, supposedly Amazon has plans to bring it back in the future. They need to age a lot of the cast for a start. Samuel says, Saraxis, then of course we are not going to agree if you don't think there are any season 1 stinkers. Weird, but we can't all agree. There are some point where I have Disco as your favorite show, Crazy. It's fine. Everybody has a different opinion. So if you like all of Discovery, that's cool. I'm glad you like all of Discovery. We will point out what we like and what we don't like. That's the whole point of our existence. Dan, but I'm not going to put you down for liking it. I'll still put the show down, but I won't put you down. That's the difference. Dan Ben, in DS9, Magnificent Ferengi, Quark says the Nagus gave Moogie special dispensation to travel to Vulcan for an operation. She wanted to have her ears raised. It's like getting your tits perky, getting a lift. Squadron Course, does YouTube run okay with your CPU's maxed out rendering? Why is everybody talking to Samuel? This is my time. Just kidding. I don't care. Turd Ferguson, you're a Steve Wallace fan? Awesome. Yeah, I watch a lot of his content. He's got some interesting points. Don't agree with everything he says, but yeah. 30-something man-child, 2 pounds. I lived in Toronto for 2 years. I love that city. Well, cheers. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Samuel says, the Ferengi have some incredible episodes of DS9. Hell yeah, they do. Plus, you can't skip an episode of DS9 because there's A, B, and C plots. Sometimes the B plot is the most interesting thing. Sometimes the C plot is the most interesting thing. You can't skip a whole fucking episode just because you don't like the main part of the episode. I fucking hate that mentality, and I will argue with anyone about that. Samuel even says, no offense, Samuel, but even say you'll skip certain scenes with certain characters. You can't do that. That's not how you rewatch something. You need to appreciate what the writer had in mind, what the director had envisioned, the nuances of a scene, the nuances of a character, the nuances of the person that the character is talking to create the overall picture. So every time I rewatch something, I get an appreciation for it. So you can't skip scenes or episodes. That's just not the way to rewatch something. If you do that, you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry, but that's not how content is supposed to be consumed. So you're wrong. Des says, ever watch Kenny versus Spenny? Funny as hell and produced by South Park guys. I have watched it. I can't really stand it. I think it's just fucking mean and cruel, and I don't know whether it's set up or not half the time, and I don't like that. You shouldn't be treating your friends that way, and if you are, you're a complete fucking asshole. View from Lookout. Darmok, when hitting the like button is swell. Yeah. Hit the like button, guys, if you haven't already. We have 65 likes. I'm sure we can get up to 75, get another 10. The super chats have been going really well. I have still quite a bit of drink left, so if you guys want me to have a shot or anything, by all means, consider throwing in a super chat. I would really appreciate it. DS9 Ferengi episodes were awesome. Turd says, I want the Probert version of The Ambassador. I don't. Dan Ban says, you hate Celine Dion. Yep, not a huge fan of Celine Dion at all. There's a lot of things about Celine Dion I'm not a fan of. So Braxis, what I did not like about Discovery the most out of all the seasons is how the season 1 was abruptly wrapped up, but I know that Fuller's premature departure made a big role in this. I'm not even going to get into that discussion. Squadron Course, my newer PC is a Ryzen 9, but I still don't have a new video card. Samuel says, Sabraxis, yes, Brian getting fired before the show was released was the whole storyline being rewritten from the ground up for episode 3 onwards. It's not Brian's show at all, except the art design. Yeah, he had a whole idea for the Discovery, why it looked the way it did, why the color it was, so that it could be identified from a distance as a Klingon vessel. He had a whole fucking idea, which, considering 2 of his main points were the ships can't have cylindrical nacelles and the Klingons have to be redesigned, the guy's a fucking idiot. So right away, you're starting with a premise that's flawed. So let's just drop that and bye, Brian Fuller. I'm glad you fucking left. Creative differences, thank God. Get the fuck out of here. Colin Sommers, been watching Discovery 2, Captain. Cool. Matt says, Lost started out great and then, well, got lost. Yes. SRB bent $20. I shouldn't be, but I am proud and amused at causing a rant just by mentioning manga. No worries, man. The different strokes for different folks and all that. Cheers, dude. Huge fan of Steve, too. So enjoy a step 2 or 2. Thank you. I'll have a shot for that. And that's one of the fun things about these lives is my rants. Sometimes I just get ranty, and a lot of people have been wondering where the Rant Alert series went. Well, I need to be in a mood to rant, and I need to be passionate about something to rant. And I'm not going to be like fucking Mecha Random that will be doing a live and clip out her little rant to release as a separate video. I will redo a rant when I feel ranty as its own video. I'm not going to like milk my content with the lives. Oh, I had a good rant there. I had a good point. I'm going to clip that part out and make it its own episode. That's not how you do things. I mean, yes, I would like to have a live highlight channel or a highlight editor that goes through these lives and picks out the funny bits that can condense them into, instead of a 2 or 3 hour live, like 20 minutes of the best stuff from lives, because we have some really great content in lives. Both me and Samuel both make funny jokes or stupid things we say or really good points, but we don't have the time to edit them ourselves. I would love somebody to go through our live content and just edit together like some of the best live moments from each live into short 20-minute videos, bite-sized videos that we could have a separate channel even for, like Trekyards live highlight channel or something, because a lot of channels have that. Cheers, by the way, and it is full, as you can see, so that's my third shot today. So thank you very much. Super Coops once got a book called 1,000 Years of Annoying the French. Strange that French and English speakers annoy the shit out of each other on both sides of the pond. Damn French. Samuel says most TV shows have their best seasons early on because that's when their concept is the strongest. And they continue to see how far they can go. Often they reuse the formula, but season 1 tends to be special. Agree. And a lot of times when it's making money, they're like, get another season out of it, another season out of it, another season out of it. But the story's run its course. So it's like, you can see when shows start falling apart and start stretching for ideas. So yeah. Heroes declined in quality. Did you hear that Quantum Leap reboot has been picked up by NBC? I did hear that. I'll believe more when I see more. Last question from my side. What means syndication? I learned that Star Trek TNG was a great success for syndication. Is that a special TV channel in Germany that it was on normal TV, 3 p.m. start? Syndication just means that if a series has over 100 episodes, it can be picked up by different TV stations and played what's called in syndication, which if you have over 100 episodes, you can license it out to other, so more people get eyeballs on it, more people can see it, more people can watch it. So that's why it was really important that Star Trek, the original series, got a third season so it could be sold as a syndicated TV show. And that's why Star Trek is so popular and developed such a fan base, because when it did its original run, it was in a shit time slot on a shit day, especially in the last season. It's one of the reasons it got canceled. But when it got picked up in syndication, it was shown on different channels at different times, and more people saw it in basically reruns. Syndication means reruns, essentially. So that's what syndication is, and it's really important that a TV show hit the amount of episodes required for syndication so that it doesn't like get forgotten about or become like a lot of these shows that only had one season you'd never hear about unless you're like a fan of the original thing that created it, or a fan of the original concept, or a fan of the show itself. You never hear about these shows that only did one season because they're not in syndication, which means they're not replayed on different channels at different times. They were basically picked up for a season and then lost, which is a shame. So yes, that's what syndication means. Dan Ben, people waited 10 years to see Superman flying in Smallville. Yes. Matt Boardman, syndication is when the show is sold by many distributors to show their television channels at whatever time they wish to. Yes. I'm starting to watch Babylon 5 again. I need to do that as well. Matt Boardman says, which is the reason that TNG ended when it did. It got to the point where the TV stations were resistant to buying more episodes of TNG because they already had a large library. I didn't know that, Matt, but that's cool. Squadron Course, shows that reach 100 episodes and get rebroadcast after their original run ends. That's syndication. Yes. SPS Guru 2000 puts in €5. I tried rewatching TNG some years ago and I couldn't make it past the pilot, but I should probably try to force myself through it. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is wrong with you? How can you not get past the pilot? Yeah, it's rough. It's rough compared to the last couple seasons, but Jesus Christ, man. Yes, by all means, rewatch it. I can see you not getting through Code of Honor, but Jesus Christ, man. There's still some good moments in Code of Honor. Watch every fucking episode. Just watch it. I don't understand people that get up and leave a movie halfway through in the movie theater. I've never fucking done that. If I've spent money, even if I haven't, if I start watching a movie, I'm going to watch the fucking movie. I'm going to watch the whole thing. Whether I pay attention to the last half or not, I'm still going to be sitting there with it playing and hearing what's going on and looking up occasionally. I'm still going to stay invested. I don't get people that pay money to go to a movie theater and then walk out during the movie because it was so bad. What the fuck is wrong with you? Just sometimes the payoff is in the last 10 minutes. Like The Sixth Sense. The payoff, the reveal at the end is like, oh my God. So, Jesus fucking Christ, people. Even if it's bad, watch it. So you can say you've watched it. And then when you talk about how bad it is, you have a frame of reference and you're able to speak about it knowledgeably. Not like, oh, it was so bad, I left halfway through. So you didn't see the twist at the end? I heard about it. Yeah, but after the fact is different than actually, you know what I mean? Like, fucking watch things. If you put it in, watch it till the end and then stop. I don't understand. SRB Bent. I don't understand why it feels like they have to reinvent the wheel with alien designs and Discovery. Honestly, the 90s makeup wasn't bad. It wasn't bad any of the time. Jonathan C. Watch your Transformers table read of the script last night and it was fantastic. I laughed a lot the whole time. Thank you, Jonathan C. That was really fun. We're going to be doing a Star Wars one soon. Same three guys. We're going to do Star Wars. Might get another person in. I don't know. But the table reads are really fun. I know Matt wants to do a table read with me. Matt Boardman, who's on here. They're really fun to do table reads of scripts. So thank you for watching it. Thank you for saying you liked it. Samuel says, LOL, what a super chat. Yes, the pilot is one of the worst episodes, but there is a ton of better stuff. Disco Season 3 pilot is also atrocious. Disco Season 1 pilot is atrocious. So is Episode 2. Those first two episodes are fucking garbage. They're just... No wonder people fucking didn't keep watching. Matt Boardman, the opposite of that is shows that are only shown on one network because that's the network studio that makes them. Squadron Course throws in $1. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. 30-something man-child. Trekyards, I have a retro arcade pinball bar where I live. It's awesome. Cool. Matt Boardman, the reason it's 100 episodes for syndication for cable shows is because it allows for 20 weeks of weekly reruns, which make it attractive for other networks to buy. Squadron Course, I have about 4,000 MAM ROMs. Fun to play the old games, but they can get really hard. You need to build up an arcade cabinet for them. I don't know what MAM ROMs are, but I just assume like I've got like the Sega Genesis, the Super NES, the Atari, one or two other console things that you plug in to the TV, and they got like 50 games on each or whatever, the classic games. I think that's probably what you're talking about. Dan Ben, did you ever see Detective Pikachu? I own that fucking motherfucker in 3D. Yes. I hated it, by the way. It wasn't good. I'm not a Pokemon fan, for the record. I do like Ryan Reynolds. And you know, Pikachu wears a Deerstalker cap. That's great. Yay. Sherlock Holmesy. Woo. I didn't enjoy the movie. I only watched it once, though. I need to go back and rewatch it. 3D in it is pretty good. But, yeah, Pokemon can suck my dick. Pokemon and Power Rangers are just fucking garbage. I don't care if you like them or not. You're wrong. Sorry, but they're crap. Alex says, I'm sure someone's asked this before, but opinions on Mass Effect franchise and if you're excited for the next one. People have asked that. I've never played them and not excited for the next one because I haven't played them. But I hear they're pretty good and I need to play them and I probably will. Samuel says, Alex, I love Mass Effect and I will be excited for the new one when I see it. Whiskey Trek says, and now for a round of I'm a Lumberjack. I'm a Lumberjack and I'm okay. I work hard and I play all day. I don't know the words of that song. I should. Alex Graham says, you just reminded me of the French animation of Hercules in space. The theme music was the best thing about it. Subraxis, if I remember correctly, Fuller left when the shooting the early Mirror Universe episodes. That's why he didn't properly know how to continue from that point onward. Fuller's responsible. Fuller's a fucking idiot. Yes. Squadron Course, anyone have thoughts about the new Halo show or possibly Firefly reboot? I mean, the Halo show looks interesting. I'll probably watch it, even though I don't know fuck all about it. But Martin Devon says, Seven's Arc 7. Yes, that was the American edition to the Gachaman, the R2-D2 analog. Samuel says, no, he left before the show came out. He was not involved in any of the scripts after episode 2. He would not have been there until episode 6 or 7 and not be involved at all. He was fired very early and they literally threw out his scripts and wrote new things on the fly, often not even having finished scripts before they filmed. Yes, that's one of the problems with the first season. Uh, Bill says, isn't there a live action Battle of the Planets movie happening? I don't know. I hope so. There is a Japanese Gachaman movie, which I have recently bought and watched, and it's Japanese. And it's okay. It it's okay. I need to rewatch it again, but it's okay. It's subtitled. It's not dubbed, and I hate that. Dan Ben, I played a PC game in the late 90s when you dress up like Sherlock Holmes and go to the costume party. Things are stolen from the house, and you have to travel on to the London Underground looking for the robber. Huh. Haven't heard of that. Samuel says they had to keep the Mirror Universe stuff because they had already made costumes and such. Already, they actually had to commission and pay for 3 more episodes because Brian's vision was thrown out. They moved the Mirror content to the late season and invented 3 filler episodes. Colin says, I tried to make a Lego 2 Captain of the Phoenix. Yes, I think we all did. Whiskey Trek, I just watched William Shatner Presents Chaos on the Bridge. It explains a lot as to why the first 2 seasons of Star Trek TNG were different than the following seasons. Samuel says, throwing out all of your scripts from episode 4 to 10 while in production of episode 1 and 2 ain't really smart. Must have said how bad they were, though, if they threw them out, though. Well, Brian Fuller's an idiot. Squadron Course, I thought Chaos on the Bridge was such a cool watch. It is good. You're totally right. The cosplay, Super Coops have been slowly learning Polish for a while. Okay. Thanks for everything to Matt Boardman. Samuel says, O'Brien and Bashir, I did get you the Voyager orange and you got a blue, so done. Bill says, I started to like the theme music. Holy shit, I'm way behind in the chat if that's what we're talking about. Our Man Bashir was a great episode. Yes, Captain Cosplay is O'Brien and Bashir. Yeah, he left before the release because the show was being shot well in advance, not a mere month or 2 before the premiere. Samuel says, you say that, but Voyager was shot and edited mere weeks before release. They often had visual effects finished within 48 hours of the show went live. Yes, absolutely. Dan says, is Peacock still going forth with the new Battlestar Galactica? I don't know. Rhode Island says, I always found Bashir was too British. It was like the show writers got together and fought, how can they make it more stereotypical British person possible? Whiskey Trek says, I like big ears and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny that when a girl walks in with the itty bitty ears and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. Trekyards. Her Samuel says, but yes, he left basically after they abandoned the plot in episodes 1 and 2. He had no involvement in episodes 4 to 10 and was very unhappy. Not fun to be fired from a lifelong dream job. Well, don't be a fucking moron and fuck it up. So, there you go. Bill says, yeah, it's gone silent on Peacock's Battlestar Galactica. Oh, Stuart, I see the full trailer for Moon Knight comes out on Monday. There's already been a teaser. Don't really care. Oh, I will probably watch it, but I don't care or know anything about Moon Knight. So, I know what he looks like, but I never got anything else about the character. Samuel says, hey, you are very welcome to Love Disco, and just, we really have to break it down, look into the canon and compare. Can't watch the show for fun, for Trekyards, for the show. Whiskey Trek says, I'm drinking a 2010 Chateau Picard, the real deal, great vintage. Samuel says, I don't do whole TV show rewatches generally. If I'm actually doing it, then I rewatch everything. Stuart, you referenced Disco Picard, then I skipped a scene or two when we only watched it just weeks ago. Okay, I don't know what you're referring to specifically, but okay. I hate Celine Dion too. Good man. Did Hot Toys ever make Star Trek figures? No, I don't think so. Dan says, do you like the idea of energy whips from when the Ferengi had them? Star Wars had something similar, but I don't know if it was shown on screen. They're also in one episode of Charmed. I thought they were an interesting idea, but yeah. So Braxis, yes, I remember how back in the 90s, it was a long time before the inception of the so-called prestige TV of today, where not only streaming shows are shot like feature films. It's Ranty Trekker. I enjoy your rants. Thank you. Olivia Julius, $2. I'm here. Stop worrying. I didn't even realize you weren't even here. So cheers. Thank you, Olivia. Good to see you. Whiskey Trek, Captain Picard rant. The line must be drawn here. This fall, no further. Joe Torres, what's going on, Stuart? Hope you're doing well. I am doing well, Joe. Hopefully you are well. Worry about you, man. Sabraxis, so El Capitan, when are you rewatching TNG? You do not skip Sub Rosa, for example. I do not. I will watch Sub Rosa. Yes. Even when we do our review, we obviously have to watch it. But yes, even when Sylvia and myself go back and rewatch a series, I will watch Sub Rosa. I will watch Code of Honor. There's little moments in those that are great character moments between characters. Doesn't relate to the big plot at all. Could be literally 30 seconds of something good. But you rewatch the whole fucking episode. That's part of a rewatch. You don't skip shit. I don't understand that. Oh, I don't like this episode. I'm going to skip it. Okay, you fucking baby. Then don't fucking watch it. Don't watch any of the show. Because you know what? Fuck you. People put time and effort into that, including the actors. They deserve to have their whatever scene. I know it wasn't great. There's a lot of things to hate about it. But like Alana of Troyes, the TOS episode. I can't really stand the episode because I can't stand that bitch. I just want to slap her in the face. Shut the fuck up, you whiny little bitch. You need to be spanked. Kirk is right. You're a fucking baby. Stop it. But you know what? There's some really great Klingon battles in that episode. Does anybody remember that? No, because Alana Troyes, oh yeah, it's a fucking shit episode because she's just a insufferable bitch. Okay, but you're missing out on all the procedural stuff. That battle with the Klingons is fucking awesome, especially in the remastered version. You can't skip shit. There's small little things in each episode that are great and nuanced things between characters. One little moment is a comedic gold for a character and you skip over the fucking episode and you don't even see it. That's a whole rant. I could do a whole episode of Rant Alert on that shit because that really pisses me off when people say shit like that. Misha's here. Hey. Whiskey Trek. I was born in 1966, so I grew up watching TOS in the original syndication. My family... Did you, though? You were born in 1966. So by the time Star Trek was over, you were 3. Do you fucking remember that? Seriously? Sorry, Whiskey Trek. My family went to 3 Star Trek conventions before the first movie came out. I can see you remembering those. But people that say, I was born in 1966, I grew up with the original Trek. Did you, though? Do you fucking remember it? Seriously? If you were like... beyond the age of 6 when Star Trek originally came out, I can see you saying that and I have no problem with it because yeah, you maybe remember bits and pieces of it, but to say I was born in 1966, I watched the original Star Trek. Did you though? Did you? I don't know about you, but I don't remember anything before I was the age of like 5. Sorry. I just don't. So anyway, Dan says, can an episode sometimes be edited in syndication from its original? Depending, sometimes yes. Like even movies, when they play movies on certain TV channels, they'll add specific scenes. Like Star Trek 2 has a TV cut that has a few different scenes added for time to fit into that 2-hour time slot. So yes, I don't think they can do it for syndicated shows though. Bill, yeah, it's weird how Babylon 5 rebooting is going to CW channel. Dan says there was an episode of TNG that was banned in the UK because of what they said about Ireland, and I don't see it 2 years later on DVD. Yeah, that's the high ground. Yeah, the high ground. I think is the episode where they talk about terrorism and is terrorism effective. And Picard and Data have a scene on the bridge, like, and Picard mentions Ireland and the IRA in the year 2000 something, and it's like, ooh. Whoa, I don't understand the fucking IRA and all that bullshit anyway. Stop blowing each other up. Just fucking get along. First of all, that pisses me off. That's going to be a rant alert on its own. Fucking get along. We're all human beings. That's one thing that pisses me off about The Expanse. Oh, the Belters and the Inners and the Earthers and the Martians. Shut the fuck up. You know what? If it wasn't from Earth, if it wasn't for Earth, none of you would fucking exist. So fuck off. You're all the same fucking species. Stop being such ignorant little cunts. That shit just pisses me off. Anyway, moving on. You gonna watch Spock's Brain? Yes. Brain. What is Brain? Yes, you gotta watch Spock's Brain. There's a really great moment in that where McCoy's reconnecting everything. He's like, this is so fucking simple. This is great. Like I could cure a rainy day or whatever the fuck he said. There's some really great moments in Spock's Brain. That sounds really weird. It's crazy that Enterprise opening theme song was supposed to be "Beautiful Day" from U2. I found out that yesterday watching "If I Felt Your Mission." That's weird. Um, let's see, Samuel, guys, can we get 90 likes? That's only 13 more. Let's see, where. Fuck off. All right, we are at 83. That's 7 more likes, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't. Sorry, I had a notification pop up on my phone that covered the likes on the top there. I'm looking forward to the CW reboot of Babylon 5. MAME multi-arcade machine emulator. Let you play it. Cool. Watching a movie is like making love to a beautiful woman. Once you start, you need to finish, but hopefully it lasts longer than 3 minutes. Wait, what? Lots of emphasis on the build-up and the character development and, setting up the world. I love Pokemon. To be honest, the 1988 animated series introduced me to that. I'm sorry to hear that, Donnie. SBR Bent, I admit I just managed to finish Enterprise before it left Amazon. I had been stuck halfway through season 2 since it left TV. In my defense, I was like 14 at the time and things were weird for me. Free Guy was a lot of fun. Detective Pikachu was a video game first, then became a film. They're both different. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. He wears men's clothes. Wears women's clothes and he hangs around in bars. He wishes he'd been a girlie just like his dear. Sure. Geraldine, multitasking, watching Enterprise, season 4, episode 3. Damn, I love that episode. Dan says, isn't Picard's storyline with the synthetics taken from Mass Effect game? Everything's taken from something else. There's only like 7 tropes in storytelling, and they all get reused and rechanged. They're all the same shit, guys. There's only so many stories you can tell. Well, this has been used before. No fucking shit. You know why? Because we have a whole amalgamation of Earth history and libraries full of fucking books and stories that are all based on certain premises. You can't fucking come up with anything new, really, anymore. It's all been done before in some other form. So, this has been used. No shit. How well did they do it? Did they craft it well, or is it exact copy and paste? All right, well then they might get some points deducted for not being creative. The Matrix was fucking new and innovative, but yet not. But they did it in a way that made it feel like it was new and innovative. So of course it was fucking like so much praise piled upon it. There's ways to do things, but there's only so many stories that can be told at the same time. Dan says, love R2D2. It would be good to see a droid story in the future, which is Disney Plus thing with R2D2. Samuel says, I never realized Bashir was British. Didn't seem like or act British to me. I also didn't hear the accent. Sounds like a guy. Can't say he feels British to me. Oh, he's British. Of course you can't hear it. You're fucking British. You got a British accent. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Anyway, Squadron Course, is there any news about new Stargate series? Not that I've heard. Alex Graham, he's colonial, not British, but in a Trek. Oh, don't care. Dan Ben, I think Dr. Bashir orders tea and scones and up. Yes, he does. Samuel says, see, that makes more sense. I wouldn't call him English or British. Whatever. He comes across as arrogant and British. Sorry, but he does. Really, he's like the only person that got an accent other than O'Brien. Well, an accent isn't just speaking to us English people, so I don't hear the accent. Just like we're so used to American accents, I wouldn't have said that Cisco or Jadzia had American accents. They're just talking. But O'Brien has a stronger accent. It's fair. An interesting point. People don't hear their own accents, but also he doesn't act or feel English to me, and of course I am an expert. He's Indian British. The actor is a bit sensitive about it. Captain, keep up the good work. I enjoy the live streams, even if sometimes you're 20 minutes behind in responding. I'm sorry. I just like to read everybody's comments during these because I really love your thoughts. Yes, I did get far behind in the chat, and I apologize, but I really enjoy hearing what you guys are thinking. Remember a Reading Rainbow episode featuring TNG. Frakes was in it and said each episode was $1 million back in 1988. I remember that as well. That was premium TV back then. Klingon Battlecruiser is great. Land of Troy has no security and engineering or staff. SBR Bent, $5 for the drink, so thank you, sir. Or ma'am. not assuming anything. Actually, that's a good question in itself. What characters do you wish jumped series or would have fit in better with another series? Oh my god. Can I opt out of this one right now? This would be a whole other discussion. I kind of want to wind this thing down because we've been going for almost 2 hours now. I'm going to wrap this up soon. I want to kind of catch up on the chat. But thank you, SBR Bent. I don't know who, I can't even think straight right now as to who I would want to cross over. So I'm going to move on, if that's okay. I remember TOS The Cage UK for the first time. The 90s episode was so boring. Yep, that was high ground. Whiskey Man. Trekyards. Yes, I do remember watching the Star Trek TOS in syndication. I also remember when my younger. I was born in 1969 and visiting him in the hospital, you ignoramus. That's fair. I mean, if you remember things when you're 3, that's awesome. I was born in 1984. I remember the first moon landing vividly, like I was there. Jonathan says, was there really an effective security and engineering that began with... Oh my god. I remember Cole meeting at Con Air, yes. First saw Trek at the age of 6 in 1981. The neighbors were excited because it was going to be on Channel 13 after the news. He's got 6 more likes to hit 90. We are at 89. We need 1 more like. Hit the like button, guys. Paul says, I hit like. Have you? Hey, Paul, how's it going? Talked about you earlier, but you weren't here. Martin Devon throws in £5. Hashtag Code of Honor. Have a drink. Yes, the original hashtag. Hashtag Code of Honor. And that is it for this beer. Almost there. Stay on target. Hashtag Code of Honor. Everyone now. Glad to see you, Cap. Hashtag Code of Honor. $1. Just watched Spock's Brain the other day. Great episode. Oh yeah, Cole Meany in Con Air has classic Corvette gets trashed. Yes. Kirk trashed one too. Yes. Which did you prefer? The guest star of Stargate Atlantis, Cole Meany as Cohen, leader of the Janai, or Connor Trinner as Michael? I like Connor Trinner as Michael. Honestly, Cole Meany as leader of the Janai, I could fucking punch him in the fucking head. I fucking hated that character, and I hated the Janai. But whatever. You think that IRA pisses you off? Try being Irish and have, the IRA pisses you off. Try being Irish and on both sides of your own country trying to blow you up and never forget you walk past the car moments later. Yeah, I understand that shit, but I don't understand why. Like, it's political bullshit. Like, just we're all fucking the same people. Just stop being assholes to each other. It's pretty fucking easy. So El Capitan has Seminole family edited those line overdue episodes of Trekyards you complained about during your tipsy New Year's. No. TOS was in syndication for years throughout my entire elementary school years, 1972 and 1977, before the first movie was released. 90 likes. I heard some vague rumors about... I'm catching up, guys. I heard some vague rumors about a new Stargate series, but nothing substantial. What is your favorite song? I can't answer that. It's like, what's your favorite child? You can't... There's too many fucking songs to pick from. Subraxis. At the moment, I'm editing a fan film client work and trying to... Well, this is Trekyards, sorry. Get myself financial hole made by November, January. Gotta do this before I can edit more than my normal lots of videos a week. Paul Graham, $5. Hi Cap, drive by super chat while I drive home. KeplerRecapture.com. I was looking for a video editor, visual effects artist, intern. Go hit like and subscribe, people. Yes, go check out Kepler Kepler Recapture. I'm gonna have to have a sip of the Fireball actually. Out of my beer. Rewatched TOS not long ago, also included Spock's Brain, although the episode as a whole isn't great. I did still watch it because the very even bad episodes usually have good scenes. Amen, brother. Paul says Dr. Bashir was Indian, therefore British. Oh, you just said that. Squadron Course, I'll have some spare cash, Foley, if you have some time to export that FBX. Well, I don't know what an FBX is, so... Paul says, I'm actually really happy that you read them all. I don't mind the delay. Samuel says, LOL, email me. I don't know if that's me or him. I don't know who is emailing who. I don't know. Alex Graham says, been such a pleasure to spend time with you tonight, Captain. Live long and prosper. Thank you very much, Alex. It has been fun. Samuel says, yeah, I love Stuart. Actually interacts with the chats. Unlike many other YouTubers, really loves the fans. Of course. So do I, of course. Yes, I do love all of you guys, and during these lives, I like to read all of them. Super chats are just a bonus, but even during the times where it's so busy that we can't read everybody's message, super chats, we read every one of those. So Yes. Charlie says the best thing about Star Trek Online or Star Trek TOS, the Cage Pike Doctor is a bartender, as well as always great to have a bartender close at hand while exploring strange new worlds. Turd says that proves Cole Meany is a great actor. He also heated the leader of hated the leader of the Janai. Cheers, Cole Meany. Stewart takes that interaction into the levels of true love. I do love you guys very much. Subraxis, I get very passionate though, so sometimes I might get snarky with you, but it's just because you said something stupid. During the later seasons of TNG in the early 90s, the AVG budget per episode was increased to $2 million US, about 3.7 million in today's money. I'm almost caught up, guys. Squadra Course, the Trekyards live streams are great. So nice to just chat and chill with peeps that like sci-fi. Yes, that's why I do these. I love hanging out and having a community where you guys feel like you can hang out and have a discussion with people. Dan says, don't they have hyperspace in the cage? No, they got... The time barrier has been broken. It's not hyperspace at all. Paul Graham, oh, I'll go back and watch it from the beginning. How far in? We're almost at 2 hours. We're actually just over 2 hours. We're 2 hours, 1 minute, and 16 seconds right now, Paul. It's been a really fun one, though. Started out with no one here. Trekyards. Also, Samuel says, also, Stuart is legit talented at talking and answering people. I'm not as well able. It's quite impressive. Well, thank you, Samuel. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Squadron Course shows in $1, so thank you so much. I should just have a bottle of hard liquor for the drinks when I do this. Isn't faster than light, hyperspace, and warp kind of the same? Kind of, but not. Alex says it's an honest skill. Has he ever done radio? I have not. I don't have the stupid radio voice. Everybody on radio sounds the same. All the guys sound the same. All the girls sound the same. I don't get it. Pumpkin Spice, 2 million. They must have embezzled some of that because they reused a lot of footage from the first season. SBR Bent says, LOL, fine. Skipping a question, I guess. No worries. Surprised you give it that much consideration. Considering it's a random question, I need to go to bed soon anyways. So how you sleep well tonight? SBR Bent, I will, next time you're in a live, I will address the question. Remember the question and re-ask it. It's going to be long and complicated, and I kind of want to catch up to the chat and end this stream because it's been 2 hours. So I need to go. I'm sure Sylvia's waking up. I got to make food. You know, it's just that situation going on. So I don't want to leave anybody out. So yeah, I know you super chatted for it. Ask it again. You don't have to super chat it again, but ask it again. Remind me, and I will answer it. I apologize. Shane says the reason TNG ended after 7 seasons is because of the actors' salaries and the retirement of the TOS crew. So Braxis says, okay, good night, guys. I'll stop teasing now. El Capitan and Samuel, keep up the good work. Otherwise, I'll keep on skipping episodes. Well, you do that and keep doing things wrong. That's fine. Charlie says, live from the Captain's Ready Room. This is not the Captain's Ready Room. This is the library, which is located next to the Captain's Ready Room, which is over there. But this is the library. General Grievous puts in $2. General Grievous is the best captain, says Captain Foley. General Grievous is the best captain. Cheers, Captain. I bow to your superior intellect. Dan says, I said, do they say the word hyperspace? No, do they have it? Not do they have it. They don't say hyperspace ever. No. Shannon Ackery, $2. No comment, Captain, just drink. Jesus Christ, Shane. That's some good shit. Last 8 likes and last super chat slot. Can we get another $15? Oh, send us another $15. Let's get another 7 likes, get to 100 if possible. But yes, I'm going to wind it down in the next minute or so here. So anything important to say? Say it now, or forever hold your peace until the next live, which is not forever. But hyperspace is Star Wars warp speed. Yes. We'll email you about the FBX file. Okay, I have no fucking clue what an FBX file is. Fibix. Alex Graham, being able to talk like you do is a radio skill. Well, that's awesome. I have radio skills. That's good to know. I speak very fast when I'm trying to catch up with the chat, so hopefully that translates well. Bill 4393. Great live as always, Captain Foley. As Optimus Prime says, till all are one. Yes. Freedom is the right of every sentient being. Dan Ben. Okay, I checked and Spock says all decks prepare for hyperdrive time warp factor. Okay. I don't recall that, but okay. Charlie says, oh yeah, I should know that Captain Foley, this is a view from Lookout. This is my personal YouTube profile. Good to know, Charlie. I won't remember that probably. But Charlie is view from Lookout. Thank you. Turd says, did you see the video from space? Did you see the video from space of a volcano going off? You should watch it. It looks sci-fi, but isn't. I've seen ones like that before, but I'll check it out, I guess. Yes, they're very cool. 30-something man-child puts in 2 pounds. Drink. Drink. I need to get another bottle of Fireball. That being said, I'm probably going to use Kraken Spice Rum for my next live. Dan Ben says, goes nowhere, does nothing, lol. Yes. Colin Sommers, I still want to know about the Discord Trekyards hashtag tag number to join it. It's Trekyards. I don't fucking know. I hate Discord with a passion. Discord is a shit service, and I absolutely fucking despise it. I have to use it sometimes when we play D&D every week, which is annoying because it doesn't always fucking work properly. I hate Discord with a passion. It's a garbage piece of tech. I'm sorry, but it's fucking retarded. So, no. Discord, it's just under Trekyards. There's a Trekyards Discord server. We got a lot of great subcategories and a lot of great members in there, but I never go in there. I'll pop in once in a while and say hi. It's like, oh, the captain's here. It's like, yay, bye. I don't get it. I don't understand Discord. It's kind of a crap service. So I find Discord difficult to use, says Dan. Yes, so do I. Bill says, so what videos can we look forward to this week? Videos about things and stuff with the captain and commander. Donnie Pearson says, looking forward. SC Scout Guy, sorry I'm late. I just got power back. We are having a huge ice storm here in Southern Carolina. Some parts of the state are going through 18 inches of holy fuck me sideways. I'm sorry to hear that, SC Scout Guy, but I'm just tuning out. I'm just hitting that out of here button. 5 more likes though. So SC Scout Guy, if you can hit like, I'd appreciate it. 5 more likes get to 100. The last super chat slot right now is owned by 30-something man-child. So if you guys want it, snipe in. I got a drink here. It's not beer because I ran out of beer. So it's Fireball whiskey, which can make for an interesting night if I have any more of it. But anyway, yeah. So I'm going to be ending it because we're just over the 2-hour mark. I'm sure Sylvia will be getting up from her nap soon, and I got to find out what we're going to eat for supper because I honestly don't know. Hashtag first world problems. So 96 likes at the moment. Make that 97. Captain Casey Stewart says, night, Captain. We are at 98. 2 more likes. 2 people out there haven't hit that like button. And I see you, Shane Ackery, who just puts in $2. Have you hit the like button? Because now we're at 99. 1 more like. So I will have a drink for you, Shane Ackery. Thank you so much. And yes, I'm taking small little swigs. You know, if I got a 20, I would do another shot, which would probably finish half of this off, probably. But, you know. SRB Bent, quick question. Have you actually played the Fastest Star Trek RPG? I never did, but it looked cool. Never played it. I never even played the Fastest Starship Combat Simulator is what it's called. Never played that either. I had the miniatures, never played the game. I played Starfleet Battles, which there was kind of like Starfleet Battles, which was just the ship stuff. And then there was the FASA stuff, which included not only role play, but then the Starship Combat Simulator. Never played FASA stuff, played all of the Starfleet Battle stuff. So I was on just the Starfleet Battle stuff. Never got into the role play stuff or the aspects of FASA. Have some of the books for the role play stuff, but never actually did any of them. And never had the combat simulator when I was younger, but I had all the miniatures. Not all the miniatures, but a lot of the miniatures. And Matt Boardman throws in $20. Happy Saturday, chug chug. Well, Matt, you, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar and a fan of good whiskey, or a judge of good whiskey. What? My shit, there's a lot to fill that up. There you go. Full. And oh, I got another shot or two probably in there. But thank you, Matt. $20. Thank you so much. Skynet. Sylvia's going to have some fun tonight because my face is just starting to get numb, which means in an hour or so. I'm not going to be really drunk at all by any means, but I'll definitely be feeling this alcohol a little bit later. So I'd like to thank you all that contributed. Matt has the last super chat slot with an amazing $20 nuclear bomb. Nuke the entire site from orbit just to be sure. Super chat. Chug Chug, make it so. Star Trek on Instagram has posted a picture of the board queen from Star Trek. Good night, all. Who's playing the queen? Good morning, my brother. Dun dun dun. Terminator theme intensifies. Oh yeah, the Terminator theme. Dun dun dun. I don't remember the Terminator theme right now. Dun dun dun. Oh, I can't remember it. Jesus Christ. LOL, my 12-year-old just said, are you watching a Star Trek man? Where's the guy who sounds like he was from Harry Potter at? Samuel, where are you? Thank you for being you, Foley. Thank you, Laughable Larry. It can only be me, but I'm glad you guys enjoy that. Thanks, guys, for a good hangout. I'm actually working and I've been dead, so I always enjoy you. Thank you, Shane. Ghost Rider, hello, Captain and crew. Good whiskey. Shane Ackery, $2. Airvorbrooks. I thought it was just synthahol. It's not synthahol. There you go, Shane. Sam, you need to get around glasses next stream. Holy shit. Wow. SBR Bent throws in $20. Fuck me. And Jadok, you can go back and watch it. Joseph, you can go back and watch it. I hope you're feeling better, by the way. I love you. Hope you're feeling better. Go back and watch this one. This was a fun live, actually. Lots was discussed. Lots of rants happened. Lots of rants occurred. But SBR Bent throws in $20. Drain that bottle, hug the Admiral, and get some sleep, Captain. LOL. Fun drinking and hanging out with you. Keep space trucking and trekking. I will do more than hug the Admiral. It'll start with hugging. Then I'll move into caressing and rubbing and... Holy shit, you did. You finished the bottle. Good job. Fuck, that was up to here when I started. Easily. It's not quite a full shot, but it's close enough. So thank you very much, SRB Bent. I just farted a little bit. Don't know if you heard that, but if you didn't, I didn't say it because that would be weird admitting that I didn't fart. It's fine. Cheers. Oh, that went down the wrong tube. Oh, that was rough. It's not Samuel without a Kailash. Kailash. I managed to make it late. Yeah, you did. Joe, go back and watch it, though. He's going to board her from behind. Fuck yes. Absolutely. Shane Ackery, go Captain, get your groove on. Good night, all live and prosper. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, General Grievous. Prepare for ramming speed. Absolutely. General Grievous, I love you. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been really fun. It has been a fun Saturday afternoon hangout. I wasn't originally going to do this. I was going to play Call of Duty instead, but I decided to go live, try to make some super chats, hang out with you guys, and it has proven more than beneficial. So thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. Samuel needs to say Expelloramus. Okay, then. Maybe next live. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I hope to see you guys very soon. I might do another live tomorrow. We'll see. I might do one tonight. We'll see. I don't know. It's the weekend. I can do what I want. I like going a little bit earlier in the afternoon so that other time zones can catch me. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you guys. Samuel loves you too, I'm sure. He's still here doing his thing on his computer, being all like hacker-like. doing his thing. You know how it is. But we as Team Trekyards, we love you. The captain is better than the commander. Just saying. But you guys make that determination. I hate YouTube for not telling me. Oh, Shannon. Oh my God, welcome Shannon. No disheveled Janeway hair talk today until you got here. But welcome. Go back and watch this live. I'm ending it right now. It's been over 2 hours. It's been a fun one and a good one and lots of rants. If you love the Captain Foley rants, this is a great one to watch. So, love you, Samuel. Keep being you. Good night, Stuart. Good night, Samuel. Thanks, Shane. All right. Bye, guys. Have yourselves a good one. I love you. So does Samuel. We at Team Trekyards love you all. We love everything Star Trek. Because Team Trekyards. Stay strong, stay safe, and be good to each other. The whole Jerry Springer thing. Bye, guys. Love you guys. See ya.